Hey, Dr. Coconut. Hey, John Gonzalez. So I don't know how chunky this mod really is. I mean, it's 3 chapters, but 3 chapters can mean anything. I mean, if we have to, we can make it a 2-parter. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to put in tonight. Today wasn't a good day for me physically, so I'm going to try. One bad apple, don't spoil the whole bunch, girl. Hey, Sabic. Hey, Mandy. Hey, Ions. I see the Dino Blade streams actually taking off, getting like double the views it did when I left it, when I ended it. Maybe people just want to see me mad or something. Don't tell me it's thunderstorming out there. That'd be great. It doesn't look like it. I honestly didn't think you would play this. It's quite sensitive. Are you talking about Bad Apple? The Apple. I mean, I'm gonna play every mod that Smugfox hasn't played. Apparently, no one streamed the early beta of original Snoot game, so I might do that one down the line. This mod covers very sensitive topics. Okay. Sup? I came. You actually activated my Siri by saying hey. Okay. The stream was the first time I heard of that Dino Blade game. Maybe people are wanting to see the gameplay too, which is crazy because YouTube shilled a, was it a 700,000 plus subscriber channel with this game. One YouTuber I didn't really want in my feed, but is pushed there anyway because of the algorithm. I'd say download the channel blocker extension, but that only works half the time on the main page. That only works 100% of the time on search, so good luck with that. Someone needs to revamp their stupid little extension to actually work all of the time. The pic itself is kind of mid, not gonna lie. It has problems. I'd assume so. It's okay. We're all sensitive people. At least Bad Apple isn't a rehash of the main game. Well, it could be worse. It could be Wani Gemu. Or it could be, what is it? Revenge of Montezuma. That'd be a fun one. Here, sort of. Alright, Hoshin. I like the fic. One of the first ones I've ever read. I still haven't finished, what is it, was it I Wani Kiss That Snoot? I like stopped at like what, chapter 1 or 2. It's just I can't find the time to like just sit down and read with all that's been going through, you know? Like if you can make an audiobook of that, then maybe. But right now I'm not entirely sure. I've become too brain rotted and too much pain festering up and all that shit. I'm all for depression. I'm pretty sure this mod is a series that, or it's incomplete. Yeah, it's like the first 3 chapters, I think. Wanigame is the room of scalies. I'm still waiting. They're late with that. With the, what is it, the Liz route? I was entertaining the thought of doing the Liz route, but it's not coming. So use AI to make Morgan Freeman read it. That takes time. I don't want to put my time into it. I want to put as least amount of time into it as I can. If there was an audio fiction readers, I would be more inclined to consume fan fiction. I'm too ad to read. You're tearing me apart, Olivia. Same, I'm a listener than a reader. I mean, I've been so rotted by just gaming and listening to YouTube videos, so it's like I want a game, I don't want to read anymore, you know? Like during school I did some reading, but that was like because you couldn't really bring games into school, you know? So you just had to fucking read. And that was before like touchscreen phones and shit. Or at least like the iPhone, so you really didn't have... Like, when I was in high school, the iPod Touch was becoming a thing. And everyone was having fun with, like, the toilet paper app. And, like, Temple Run. Stuff like that. Darn, so no long neck wife for me. Yeah, not yet. Get Dagoth to read fanfics. F in the chat. Well, we are a few minutes past schedule, so I'm going to take a drink and we'll start this mod. Hey, Jack Johnson. Mod. Name Bad Apple authors Team Starlight. The following story contains spoilers for ending 1 of Snoot Game. 4.5 months after the incident at Volcano High, Anon is left a broken man, haunted by his sins and the ghosts of his past, unsure of what comes after the storm. However, after a chance encounter with past acquaintances, is it possible for him to find light in the darkness? A mod of the fanfic Bad Apple by Umbra. And again, I always test these to make sure they run. I don't get past the first screen, so I get filtered easily. So here we go. None of this matters. At least that's what I wish I could believe. I want to believe that this is nothing more than a setback. A bump in the road, a trial from Raptor Jesus or whatever God is out there as a way to make me stronger. That's what I've been told. At least through various message boards and grief support sites. Hell, I even tried Icelandic birdhouse crafting forums. Anything to try and make sense of this hell that I've found myself in. But all I see is more hollow and empty words that don't dull the pain. Speaking of pain. Ugh. Bad Apple Mod, Chapter 1, Fade to Black, The Tower. Stay with me here, please. Is there no music in this? No sound effects? Hold on. Well, no, it would be playing because Snoot Game menu music was playing. Don't leave me alone. Find the bad in the apple. Last words I ever said to her. These words are etched into my mind, echoing through my head like a symphony of torment. How I failed her, how I let her die, how I let everyone die because I was a shitty boyfriend. I should have died that day. We got custom art. You'd see the ghost of Fang. Growing weary of the disingenuous bullshit laced across my screen, my hand moves to turn off my monitor. Across the screen's darkness, I see myself. My face is completely devoid Among other things, my face is completely devoid of color from not leaving my shithole apartment for a week. My eyes are blood. Well, I couldn't tell. My eyes are bloodshot from being awake for 2 days straight. And to my right, a silhouette stares blankly at me through my computer screen's reflection. Fang? I get up and turn around in shock, only to be greeted by the front door and the pile of garbage bags and empty bottles surrounding it. I see we're maxing. God damn it, not again. Ever since I got out of the hospital, I've been haunted by the apparitions of my past sins. Constant reminders of my failures. In a moment of stunned silence, I gaze across the room blankly before snapping back to my senses. Well, now that I'm up and about, I should probably find another way to occupy myself. I mean, I had water just a while ago, but my throat is dry. That's just how it is. I try maneuvering about my apartment awkwardly. Thanks to the brace on my left leg. I was finally able to ditch the crutch a couple of weeks ago. Though maybe it wasn't such a good idea considering my doctor said my leg didn't heal as quickly as he thought it would. Still, my fucked up leg is the least of my troubles right now. I make my way over to the kitchen with a slight limp, almost tripping over the garbage that roamed the floors in my apartment like a herd of sheep. It's not like I'm having guests anytime soon, so who gives a shit if it's messy? Entering the kitchen, I grab a jar of instant coffee and a mug from the counter. It's dollar store brand crap, but it does the job well enough. I open the jar and pour the contents into a cup before mixing it with hot water from the sink and stirring the unholy concoction with my finger. One of the upsides of being too poor to afford a kettle is not having to worry about burning yourself with coffee. I begin to sip the lukewarm beverage, only to be greeted with a taste reminiscent of dirt, unnaturally sweet chemicals, and a faint hint of what could be described as coffee. Yeah, it's crap, but it'll have to do. I only get so much money from disability checks after the incident. That money's the only income I get at this point. My grades back at Volcano High weren't good enough to get me into any college. Plus, the Army didn't want a shell-shocked cripple under their banner. It only left me with the glamorous choice of begging the government for scraps, especially since my parents more or less threw me away. My father's words suddenly echoed through my head. You got a second chance, and this is what you did with it? What a waste. So much for having loving parents. They're the ones who put me in this dumpster of an apartment in the shittiest part of town. On top of that, they actually had the audacity to barely talk to me throughout the school year. As if their negligent behavior hadn't been bad enough, neither of them visited their son when he ended up in a coma after getting shot. I ended up forgotten and abandoned by those around me. A fitting punishment for a loser who treated the few people who cared about him like trash. A just punishment for an asshole whose ignorance of his girlfriend's pain caused a massacre. I deserve all of this. I need to take my mind off of all this shit. Setting down the coffee mug, I move towards one of the cabinets and grab one of the pill bottles labeled Adderall. Still, before I can open the bottle and embrace its sweet and comforting energy, I feel a distinct lack of weight from the bottle. My hand slumps on the counter and I let it roll down to the floor, enjoying the collection of trash that occupies my floor. After Jesus help me. I hope I wouldn't have to go out for at least another few days. I know the pharmacy isn't that far, but there's always the possibility of my leg giving out on me, someone robbing me, or God knows what else. Leg brace has sprite work for both of his facing directions, so the brace remains on the correct leg. I guess I didn't look at it in time. Fanfic writers try not to make Anon's parents' asshole challenge. Well, I mean, he has a point. They don't have that much contact with each other. I don't know, being in high school, wouldn't you want to still be in contact with your parents? I mean, it's not like college yet. I don't know. I think it's implied in base game that they're not exactly great people. Despite it all, I still would rather any of those things happen to me than fall asleep. Oh yeah, and then dream again. I don't want to relive that day again. I want to see them all die again. With my mind made up, I grabbed my wallet, a pack of cigarettes, and my keys before heading out the door, careful not to trip over any more trash. My keys entered the front door lock, making a mechanical sound with a turn of the left. However, what I saw when I turned around caused me to jump back against my door. A pile of mail. Oh, yuck. It's even... Wow, this place really, really fucking fell off. Yeah, Naomi's dead. Nazer is dead. Fang is dead. I forget if, like, Rosa's still alive. I know this is a Stella mod. And I know Trish is alive. I see Naomi staring at me, arms folded, shooting me a venomous look. The same look she showed me right before the prom at Fang's house. She's not real. She's dead. It's nothing more than a nightmare. How pathetic. It's bad enough that you messed things up with Fang and got us all killed, but this is what you choose to do with your life? I turn away from her and walk towards the exit. She's all in your head. It's all bullshit. No, what's bullshit is how you managed to fuck up a relationship that was practically handed to you on a silver platter. Nice to know Anon's coming up with tulpas. How are you this much of a loser? I've had enough of this shit. I turn around and raise an accusing finger towards her. What the hell do you know? You're dead! And she disappears. The apparition sneers at my angry response and takes a few steps forward. I know that if you had stayed at that trashy little school you crawled out of, maybe Nazer and I would still be alive. Maybe Fang would still be alive too. She's right. Deep down, I know she's right. Still, I can't help but clench my fist at the apparition's callousness as the rage bubbles inside me. Get out of my head, you peach-colored cunt. Not Naomi chuckles at that statement and reaches into her pocket. Gun. She brings out the gun. Payback. I can tell she's gripping something from the outlines of her hand through her pants. Struck a nerve, did I? This gives me an idea. She pulls the object from her pocket, revealing it to be a... I was right! It was a gun! Ooh. Oh boy. I swallowed wrong on that one, I'm sorry. I gotta cough this one out for a bit. Oh, deducting points for that one. Naomi by a holster. Front-facing Naomi. Numer, this isn't Persona 3. Oh, I forgot it's no Naomi November, so I guess we all lost this challenge. We have to fucking force ourselves to look at Naomi. Oh god, no. Let's make it easier for you. I could do this all day. And every day. Do you think you'll stop at this time? I can't take this anymore. I turn away and continue to march towards the end of the hallway while ignoring not Naomi's taunts. Never forget, you did this, and you deserve everything else coming to you. Naomi growls before Instinctively, I turn around, but Naomi's gone. I'm instead greeted by the dull gray of the apartment complex's walls, rather than the brains of my former classmates splattered on the walls like I had seen on that horrible day. It's just me standing in the empty hallway of my apartment's floor. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. It's all in your... I constantly repeat like a mantra as I continue to make my way towards the exit. I told you you might want to censor that. What? Are these those ghost guns they warned us about? Ghost Naomi went to super hell. After a good 15 minutes of walking through the twilight-dimmed streets of Skin Row, I finally make it to the pharmacy. The walk was surprisingly less arduous than I thought it'd be. I was worried my leg would completely BTFO if I were to walk as long as I had. As an added bonus, the streets seem rather tame compared to how the normally was, making me feel less stressed about forgetting my pocket knife at home. I thank my better instincts for going when it was completely dark. Pretty sure I'd be the perfect target for a mugging, considering I'm a cripple. Would it even be worth jumping a cripple? I don't know, maybe. Literally CVS Pharmacy. Pharmacy name is DVS Pharmacy, though it's a miracle I can even read the sign considering the sign's all dinged up, and some of its lights are burned out. Lovely. Entering the shop, I'm greeted with rows of overstocked shelves. My ears are assaulted by whatever popular Zoomer garbage is playing on the store's radio. Or wouldn't it be elf garbage now? I instantly make my way towards the counter to talk to the pharmacist on shift, ignoring anyone else or any of the big sale signs dotted around the shop. There's nothing else I need other than Adderall, so I don't really give a shit about anything else. I just need to get my meds and return home ASAP. When I go to the counter, I see the pharmacist casually scrolling through her phone while sitting on a chair with her feet kicked up on the counter. Very classy. Oh, we got OCs. She's a bright yellow Tyra Juden who looks a few years older than me. Wait a sec. This isn't my usual hookup. Who the hell is he? He. Sure it's not she? Or am I just... I don't know. The world's fucked up nowadays. Someone say something? Of course, I was fucking mumbling. I'm here to pick up my prescription for Adderall. Name? Anon Moose. And what's the purpose of your prescription? What the fuck? The previous pharmacist didn't ask me that shit. Why are they now suddenly interested? I try to think of a reason to tell the pharmacist. I needed to help with my narcolepsy. It's getting in the way of my studies. Spaghetti spillage averted, or so I thought. The pharmacist shoots me a condescending look at my response. Uh-huh. And is that why it says always... Wait. And is that why it says this is your 4th visit this month? Or how your narcolepsy isn't listed here? Shit, I didn't expect her to be this perceptive, especially considering that just a minute ago, she was in her own world browsing SnootTube or Rex Rocks or whatever normies waste their time with these days. She's now staring with a furrowed brow, waiting to hear my answer. They said for me to come today. I see. Wait, see? What I think is going on here is you're making shit up as a way to make sure you get your fix, seeing as how much you've been here before. So tell you what, why don't you come back when you get a handle on things, okay? What the hell is her problem? Fucking piss-stained meteor dodger. Raptor's face turns bright red, her expression now bordering on rage. He mumbled again. Of course, I fucking mumbled that. So, is there anything else I can help you with, or are you just going to continue wasting my time? Not so nice at being at the receiving end of that, huh? Well, I'm not really in any position to pick fights right now. Fuck it. This place is a lost cause. I'll find another place to get my meds. I turn around and walk towards the exit while flashing her the bird on my way out. Fucking bit. Yeah, there's the Stella. The ATF did FPS Kyle dirty. Or don't you mean FPS Russia? It's supposed to be a girl, isn't it? I think it was a girl, and it was just they forgot the S. Common mistake. My thoughts are interrupted as an unknown force rams into me from the right, knocking me against the glass door. Fuck it, having an arm injury could be fun too. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Frantic yet gentle feminine voice calls out for me from the void. Why does that voice sound so familiar? I pick myself up using the door as support, while posting most of my weight on my non-crippled leg. As I do, I turn to investigate my mysterious attacker. New Stella. The Anon? Wait. Stella? I would recognize that Stegosaurus anywhere. CGs. The lime green scales, verdant hair buns, wearing what appears to be an FMA-style t-shirt, and a rather plain pair of shorts with black and white sneakers. Glad to see she's gotten a better taste in anime, at least. It's the first time I've seen her since high school. She might have been a little odd, but she was one of the few people at Volcano High who was genuinely friendly to me in her own unique way. And I called her weird. Why was I such a dick to her? Although, when I look at her now, I don't see the socially awkward yet bubbly Stego I remember. Instead, I see a girl who looks as if she'd just seen a ghost, a reminder of a painful past. Within a matter of seconds, her green face turns pale as she backs away from me, slowly, her body shaking with fear. Oh God, she's melting! Before I can get a word in on my own in, she quickly turns around and practically dashes down the street as fast as her legs can carry her. Why do I have this effect on women? More importantly, why did she become that scared when she saw me for the first time in months? Well, let me readjust carefully. I only talked a handful of times. It wasn't like I knew her well enough to make that big of an impression on her. Still, Stella was one of the closest things I could consider to be an old friend at this point, and I would have hoped our reunion would be less depressing. Not that I'm surprised. Nice cut. My inner monologue is cut short by the obnoxious laughter emerging from the back of the pharmacy. I turn to see the cunt of a pharmacist pointing and laughing at me. Have I really been standing here that long? Well, I'm done here anyway. Good fucking riddance. I let go of the door and continue the long and perilous journey back to my apartment. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna save. Goodbye, Reed. I back up. I can. So, we headed here in the middle of the night, right? Why is it like in the middle of the day now? Just questions, you know? Crazy. Okay. I let go of the door and continue the long and perilous journey back to my apartment. My apartment, where I can relax without any Adderall and risk falling asleep again. Fuck my life. On my way home, I find... Isn't there a night sprite for this, too? I swear there's a night sprite for not sprite, but a background for this. Maybe. On my way home, I find myself alone with my thoughts while passing all the roughed up buildings and graffiti painted signs I previously made myself familiar with. Many things have been clouding my mind as of late. My woeful financial situation, trying to find a source to get my meds from, trying to make it home without getting murdered. Why is it that bumping into someone I barely knew in high school fucking with my head so much? I haven't really given it much thought to friendship after high school. I always find a way to fuck everything up one way or another. And after what happened, and what I caused to happen, no, never again. I think they just darkened it. There's no night skin row background. Okay. You know. I trust you. After all, Stella's reaction proves that reconnecting with my old friends was a terrible idea. Rosa probably feels the same way as Stella. Probably the same with Reed and Trish too. Especially her. Never forget, you did this, and you deserve everything else coming to you. Naomi was absolutely right. Not that I have any shits left to give at this point. Thunk. Fuck! My pity party comes to an abrupt and violent stop as I feel the brutal force of a blunt object smashing into my leg. My crippled leg. The blunt object comes towards my leg again, hitting the leg brace and filling the air with the sound of metal striking metal, along with whatever's left of my leg brace hitting the ground in scattered pieces. The pain's so intense, my leg feels like it's been lit on fire. Oh no, let me guess, Trish? I recognize those horns. I fall on my back where I can briefly catch a glimpse of my attacker. A menacing yet short triceratops in a large gray coat, with their face obscured with a paintball mask. I can only stare at them in shock as they move closer, their gloved hands gripping the lightly blood-stained bat. Behind the obscure figure, I see Fang standing behind them. She's leering at me with a cold and malevolent stare. Wait. Shut the fuck up. The figure spits at me with a muffled voice as she interrupts my cries, with a swift kick to the face, knocking me out. What is that? Skinny piece of shit? Wait, oh wait, just speaking Spanish. Man, I wonder what that orange question marks are. Don't just stand there. Help me get him to the van. Vámonos. Ahorita. Finally return to my senses after fading in and out of consciousness for God knows how long. My eyes are greeted by the sight of a car seat to my right. Oh, we're pasting this one together with toothpicks and bubble gum. Wait, when did I get in a car? I shoot up before a surge of pain comes out of my abdomen, causing me to groan in response. Oye, esté bien, Anon. Rosa. Rosa, why aren't you sitting down in the chair? Why are we Flintstoning this one? Trish would that. You mean would do that? What happened is more Trish's fault than Anon's. I look in the direction of the voice and see none other than Rosa in the driver's seat, looking over at me with a concerned expression through her rearview mirror. Wait, when did she... Rosa, what happened? Damn, it hurts to talk. Before responding, Rosa pulls the car over to the side of the road. Once she sets her car to park, she leans slightly out of her seat to face me, her attire consisting of a dark orange hoodie with roses printed along her sleeves. Gracias, Raptor Jesus, we found you. You were getting beat up by some Matan On the street near the pharmacy where Stella found you. Wait, Stella? Rosa responds by nodding to the car seat beside her. So she's still melting. I was on my way to bring Stella to the hospital. She was melting. You just looked at her wrong and she started melting. Anon, how could you? This gesture prompts me to shift in my position to get a view of the passenger car seat. There I see Stella curled up in a ball, arms around her knees and buried in her lap, as she quietly sobs. Hi, Anon, Stella tries to say with a shaky and muffled voice before bursting back into tears. Wait, why is she crying? Did I really scare her that much earlier? Did I? No. It's not anything you did. Stella's been... Rose's voice trails off as she's trying to figure out how to deliver her following words tactfully. As I can't breathe, so I'm gonna get another water. Actually, my lips are extremely chapped. I'm putting on the chapstick. I don't know why I'm so dry today. Absolutely beats me. What happened is more... Oh, wait, I read that. Whoops. Alright. She looks at Stella with sympathy before returning her gaze back onto me. She's been through a lot of pain since that day. I know instantly what day Rose is referring to. How one bad day and one shitty boyfriend caused innocent people to die. And God knows how many lives get destroyed. Oh, new Sprite. It looks like you've been through a lot of pain yourself. Rose's words break me out of my brief contemplation. I trace her gaze back to my leg. Only then do I notice that it's wrapped in a blood-stained bandage, and my leg brace is nowhere to be seen. Just my fucking luck. That brace cost me more than what I get in a month. My gaze returns to the bandage covering my leg, and I turn my gaze back to Rosa. The Madre gave me a first aid kit to keep in my car, so I did what I could to stop the bleeding. Angry. Who did this to you, Anon? What kind of person would attack an injured Chico and leave them to die in the streets? Rose's words flare with a mix of concern and fury, the reaction taking me aback. Why would anyone be this concerned over what happened to me? Besides, she didn't visit me in the hospital. Why would she suddenly give a fuck about me now? But my pitiful inner monologues get interrupted by Rosa's continued glance as if she's expecting an answer about my suspected attacker. I struggled to answer while trying to describe the attacker. I was only able to get a brief glance before I lost consciousness. I do recall the attacker had a feminine voice despite her voice being muffled, and she seemed to be on the short side. The realization suddenly hits me like a truck. Of course it was her. God, I'm so retarded. It doesn't matter right now. We need to report this to the policia. Rose's statement pulls me out of my thoughts. There's no point. The police aren't going to do anything for someone like me anyway. The reply sours Rose's expression, but motions to my leg again. But we still have to take you to the hospital. To Pirna. I'm not reading that. I'm sorry. Ever since Revenge of Montezuma, never again. I'm never going to embarrass myself in that humiliation ritual ever again. Sorry. I'm really glad Spanish class is one of the few things I remember back from high school. Rosa, I don't have any insurance. What little money I do have probably won't even cover the hospital bill. Rosa's expression goes from determined to uncertain. Simultaneously, she begins to mumble something to herself in Spanish. Glad to see I'm not the only one who does that. Rosa, Isn't your mom a doctor? Stella's soft words snap Rosa out of her mumbling. I can tell Rosa begins to contemplate Stella's suggestion as she rubs her wrist. It's not her area of expertise, but I'm sure mi madre would be able to help with Anon's injuries. Before I can interject with anything else, Rosa faces the windshield and turns her key in the ignition, causing the van's engine to roar back to life. We'll be there soon. Why didn't they just leave me to bleed out on the sidewalk? I ended up drifting in and out of lucidity from the pain not long after my talk with Rosa and Stella. What little of the car ride I recall was rather uneventful. Every once in a while, I'd catch Rosa looking back at me through her rearview mirror. She must have caught on how painful it was for me to speak, so she kept her focus mostly on the road. I stopped with the excessive Spanish, put translations in the corner. I'd use my translator, but apparently now this new phone I have just does not fucking light correct light. So every time I put it up to the TV, it just all turns white. It cannot adjust. Stella, on the other hand, managed to stop crying only when she withdrew a pair of headphones from her bag and immersed herself in her own world. I can't help wondering what could have happened to make her so shell-shocked. She doesn't look like she was injured by Fang's rampage. She also wasn't among the students that I saw outside that day. Did she know anyone who died? I've only ever seen her hang out with Rosa and that one purple raptor. What was his name? What was her name again? Sage, yeah. Her, a couple of times. Yeah, Sage who? We're just injecting here. Well, I guess that's more of a Goodbye Volcano High reference, seeing as those two are buddy-buddy. Stella survived, but I wonder at what cost. Okay, we're here. Oh, wait, this isn't from Garden of Rosamod. Rosa's announcement pulls me out of my thoughts as I get a glance at her house and its general surroundings. My eyes are instantly drawn towards a beige-colored house adorned in cobblestone, situated in one of the quieter parts of Volcadera Bluff's suburbs. It's a locale that's well away from the city and situated right where the countryside started. The lawn laid before the house could only be described as immaculate, accompanied by a small but beautiful garden that crept beneath the house's windows, displaying various colors and plants. Considering how passionate Rosa was about gardening back at Volcano High, it made sense her passion would carry over to her home. Van. All according to Burrito. Editor's note, burrito means plan. Stella, I need you to help me get Anon inside, okay? Rosa's request is devoid of the authoritative presence I've noticed from her in the past. Stella nods while refusing to return Rosa's glance, and the two exit the car. The car door to my right opens before me, and I see the pious Ankleo greet me. So, not a Quillops anymore. It's back and forth. I honestly don't see Rosa as an Ankylosaurus. She is not spiky enough. She doesn't have like the shell kind of build, you know? I don't know. Vamos, Anon. It was still weird to see me seeing Rosa wear an orange hoodie, a pair of clean jeans, and brown fall boots. The new outfit contrasted so much with the skirt and sandals I remember her wearing back in high school. Makes sense, though. It's getting colder as we head into November. Rosa begins trying to help me out while attempting not to put weight on my further crippled left leg. Anon, I got you. Thanks. I put my arms on both of their shoulders, and the two proceed to help me make the journey towards the house. From 10 feet in front of us, the door opens, revealing a middle-aged ankylosaur woman of medium height. Are we stealing the Rosa mods, or Garden of Rosa mods here? Call it. No doubt, that's Rosa's mother. Oh, okay, we traced, well, not traced, but referenced. We referenced Isabel, Rosa's mom. Speaking Spanish. Speaking Spanish. Oh dear, set him down on the couch, and we'll have a look. I'll be back in a moment. Rosa's mother addresses us when we finally go indoors, presumably switching to English so Stella understands her directions. The van is equipped with FTL. After entering the house, we take a right into the living room. The place is adorned with typical Latino decor, along with a cross hanging above the TV. What TV? I also see a handful of framed pictures of Rosa and her family. Judging by the other Ankleos I see in the picture, Rosa has a brother and a sister. Over here, Stella. Speaking Spanish. It's going to be okay. Anon, was it? Yeah, thank you, Doctor. I paused mid-sentence. I don't think I've ever heard Rosa's last name in all of my time knowing her. Oh boy, are we just gonna pull this one out from the aether? It's okay, Nino. You can call me Mrs. Castillo. We're pulling names out of the aether here. Mrs. Castillo redirects her attention towards my mess of a leg. Hey, we still have our brace after all. She notices how blood-stained the bandage applied by her daughter, the slight rip in my jeans around the affected area, and the sight of the torn denim reminding me of the past I endured not long ago. I'm afraid that there's not much I can do here, Anon. The best I can do is clean the wound, apply some new bandages, and help with the pain. The elder Ankylo reaches over the medical kit and withdraws a pair of bandages, gauze pads, and various medical supplies. I've seen so many first aid kits appear in the boomer shooters I waste my days with, but to see what's actually inside them is a new experience for me. Girls, could you give us a moment, please? I think Anon would appreciate a little privacy for the process. Rosa's mom turns her head to address Rosa and Stella, who are both standing by the doorframe and observing the two of us. See, Mama. Okay. Rosa takes Stella by the hand and gives me a reassuring nod before walking away to another room with Stella, their footsteps fading. Okay, mijo. You just need to take your pants off to get a Oh, no! Oh, boy. Hag man, we're going after the hags. We just need to take your pants off to get a closer look at the damage done. Record scratch. Not how I expected my first time with a middle-aged lady to go. God, what the fuck is wrong with my mind? I really hope I'm not mumbling any of this. Oh no, no, get away! Some rather awkward time passes. As it turned out, the deep gash on my leg was caused by the brace digging itself into my skin when it was bashed to pieces. Thankfully, Miss Castillo managed to pull the last piece of debris and disinfect the wound before applying new bandages. That was where the good news ended, because the attack, the fracture that hadn't fully healed yet, only got worse. So I was back to square one, minus a bullet lodged in my bone, except now I have no leg brace or crutches. Just my fucking luck. Despite the horrible developments, I'm taken aback by how Rosa's mom treated me up until now. She didn't treat me like some delinquent or burden, but rather as a guest. She opened her home to me and showed me genuine concern and kindness when any hospital would have thrown me out for not having insurance. It's a miracle I was able to take care of that bill when I got shot. Sus. You think the curtain matches the drapes? Oh no. A cigarette, CG. Anon gets into a wheelchair. Yeah, was it I Wanna Be the Gator, Part 2? As my eyes lazily wander the living room of the Castillo household, I hear the slow footsteps emerging from the hallway. Hola, Anon. How are you holding up? Stella follows right behind Rosa while holding a cup of her own with two hands. I brought you some tea. It's chamomile. I've never really been one for tea before, but I'd imagine it's a vast upgrade over the boiled dirt I've been drinking that passes for coffee at home. I raise the warm cup to my lips. Taste is rather pleasant. It's silky smooth with gentle notes of honey and apple. I'll have to grab this next time I go out and have the cash to spare for it. I rest my cup on the coffee table sitting in front of me and address my host and saviors. Thanks, Rosa. You really didn't have to do this all for me. Why? Why did you two save me? Rosa seems quite taken aback by my question. Even a subtle degree of surprise creeps from Stella's face. What do you mean, why did we save you? We couldn't just let a friend to die on the streets. Friend. After all this time, they still consider me a friend. After the way I ruined and abused her flowers the first time we met. After how shitty I was to Stella, who was just happy to meet someone who shared their love of anime and did nothing but try to be my friend. Oh, my legs hurt. My legs are hurting now. Thanks, Anon. After what Fang did to everyone because of what I failed to stop. Why don't they hate me? Of course we consider you a friend, Niño Estupido. Even in a stupor of self-pity, I can't stop mumbling. I know you never meant to destroy my flowers. Accidents happen. And I could tell underneath of all that angst that you weren't bad, just lost. Rose's words echo the room with a mixture of exasperation, yet compassion. And don't blame yourself, not even for a second, for what that puta satanica di mirdata something, whatever, did. I was not on you, not for 1 second, Anon. No, I fucked up, Rosa. I fucked up real bad. If I had been a better friend to those around me and not put myself before others, things could have been different. My voice became strained, my chest tightening like a vice as I struggled to contain my composure. Rosa's eyes meet my own and remain focused on them for what feels like an eternity. After a few seconds, her eyes meet the ground again. She looks as if she's about to say something else, but she's cut off by a neighboring voice. I don't hate you, Anon. The somber yet sympathetic words emerge from Stella as she stares vacantly at the cup she's clasping with both of her hands. I forgive you for acting the way you did towards me, and I'm sorry I ran away from you earlier. It's just ever since She finally looks up towards me. Her eyes tell a story of fear, pain, and sorrow. The struggling look at the Stego's face tells me everything. She wants to elaborate further and explain why she's become so withdrawn and meek, compared to the bubbly yet socially awkward fortune teller I remembered from Volcano High. But the pain is too great. Rosa looks at her friend with sympathy and takes this as an opportunity to regain control of the conversation as she holds Stella's hand. What Stella is trying to say, Anon, is that she has been going through a great deal of pain since the incident. As I told you earlier, she's been finding it difficult to talk to people she's not used to. When I took her to the pharmacy to get her meds, Rosa abruptly stops her sentence as if she just entered a sensitive subject. I can see the wheels in her head turn as she thinks of how to explain Stella's behavior better. Meanwhile, Stella remains fixated on her teacup with a sad expression. Speaking Spanish. We were not expecting to see an old amigo there. It all became clearer the more I thought. It all became clearer the more thought I gave it, and the more Rosa continued to explain it. The shooting probably gave Stella some sort of post-traumatic stress disorder. Seeing her classmates dead, her school in chaos, that could give even the hardiest person some form of trauma. That explains her massive personality change compared to the Stella I knew half a year ago. Everyone's fighting their own battles. The familiar words come back to me as I feel a twinge of guilt emerging from my gut. I'm not the only person who walked away from that school with scars. Others did too. Yet, here I've been thinking I was the only one affected by Fang's shooting and suicide. Why do I have to be such a self-centered piece of shit? Things get real quiet not long after I have my epiphany. As I ponder on my selfishness, Rosa holds Stella's hand as she looks towards me, assuming I have something to say after her explanation. I really should say something. Damn, I'm truly sorry, Stella. I can't imagine how horrible going through all that must have been for you. I empathize with Stella, avoiding mentioning details of the incident similar to what Rosa has been doing, likely to prevent the trauma from resurfacing. Thank you, Anon. It means a lot. Stella's voice is still meek, but I hope my apology is enough to clear some of the things up in the air. Okay, that just read off weird. The three of us spent the next hour and a half talking about what transpired in our lives since the shooting at Volcano High. Surprisingly, Rosa decided to stay and take a 5th year at Volcano High, confusing me since she never struck me as the type of person who would need to do an extra year in high school. She always seemed like an intelligent and hard-working girl. Rosa explained that the incident opened her eyes and made her realize that she needed more time to contemplate her future. However, I noticed a level of doubt and uncertainty when she gave her reasoning, giving me a feeling that there's more to her decision than what she's been letting on. Additionally, Rosa mentioned that she took over Naomi's now vacant position of student council president and is the head of the gardening club. This woman is trying to work herself into an early grave. I want to make a difference where I can fix everything that Puta destroyed. She's definitely referring to Fang. Stella's situation, however, seemed all too familiar to my own. Ever since the thing, I've become a hikikomori. Just say neat, Stella. Just say neat. You don't need to go full weeb. I knew that word pretty damn well myself. I still live with my parents. Most days I don't come out of my room. I'm also not going to school at all. At the very least, Stella still has parents who look after her. Hell, just by letting her live with them, Stella's folks are already doing miles more than my own parents ever did. My parents pretty much threw me away after I failed to live up to their expectations, wherever those expectations were. As soon as I said that, Stella began apologizing to me somewhat excessively. I'm assuming she's trying to give me her sympathy. It's okay, Stella. Not really your fault my folks suck at being parents. che paso after you got out of the hospital? It tastes bitter, but I explain my situation after Volcano High. I don't sugarcoat it. I tell the two of them how I'm unemployed and not in any form of schooling, how I'm rotting away at an apartment in Skin Row. The news that I actually live in such a shitty part of town surprises them both. But you guys found me at the pharmacy in Skin Row, not to mention saved me from getting beat to death by a masked midget. Rosa and Stella only exchanged confused and concerned looks with each other in reply to my words. I guess I never told them about my living arrangements. Despite basically spilling my guts to Rosa and Stella, I make sure to neglect to mention some of the more unsavory aspects of my already unsavory life, such as downing pills like candy. Not to mention the constant nightmares and hallucinations I've been having since coming out of the hospital. I only just met with them again. I don't want to know how fucked in the head I've truly become. Clock. Tick-tock. I glance towards the clock and realize with harrowed alarm just how late in the evening it already is. Wasn't it pitch black dark out, though? So shouldn't this be like... what is it, almost like 3 or 4? I don't know. Everyone should be like dead-ass tired. No wonder I'm feeling such a strong urge to smoke and shitpost at the same time. That's usually what I'm doing around this time of evening. Shit, is that really the time? Damn it, no way am I catching any bus heading back home now. I can't thank you enough, Rosa, but I have to get going ASAP. With what leg? Hasta loco, Chico? You're not going anywhere with that injured leg, nor with any of your other bruises and nicks still fresh. But, no buts! I was hoping to just go home and smoke and shitpost the pain away. But Rosa's right. I can't stand, let alone walk, however miles I need to walk to reach the nearest bus station. Besides, no one has been this kind and gracious to me in pretty much ever. Who am I to throw that away? Still, I do need a smoke, if nothing else, to help me dull the pain. Stella, I need to speak to you briefly. Okay. Almost as if sensing my desire for solitude, Rosa and Stella go up a nearby set of stairs to have their private discussion. Oh no, Stella's a Reddit mod. Oh no, yeah, hikikomori. Apparently puta means bitch in Spanish. Yeah, I know that at least. Time means nothing here. Time's everywhere. I seized the sudden opportunity to indulge myself. I'm gonna smoke right here in the living room and get an earful from Isabella. With the help of a desk chair that Miss Castillo lent me to navigate to the bathroom, without putting pressure on my leg, I guide myself towards the house's entrance and towards the back deck. As I quietly open the sliding door, I'm greeted with a sea of stars in the night sky. I slowly lower myself to the ground, careful not to further injure my already fucked up leg. I then drag myself towards the edge of the deck, looking like a dog scooting in the process. After finding a place on the deck comfortable enough to sit, I take out my pack of cigarettes, open the pack, and retrieve one of its contents along with the shitty dollar store lighter that I keep in the carton. I proceed to bring the cigarette closer to my mouth and light it, taking a deep drag and filling my lungs with the pungent yet soothing sensation of nicotine and tobacco. The brand's shit, but it helps ease my nerves and helps in dulling the pain. As the smoke exits my lungs, I gaze around my surroundings to see just how big Rosa's backyard really is. It makes sense, considering Rosa lives in a more rural part of Volcadera Bluffs.
With only 2 other houses neighboring her own, the Castillo family household is basically a ranch. Rosa and her folks must have a pretty peaceful life out here.
Oh boy. Oh hey, the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer. I try not to spoil myself if I can. Too bad I can't see the stars. Too much light pollution. Yeah, how far? Like, we're supposed to be in, like, the suburbs, but yet we could see, like, the whole fucking night sky, man. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Like, you have to go, like, to the countryside roads to see shit like this. I feel a strange sense of peace wash over me. Especially with the stars dancing upon the grassy fields like a cascade of lunar brilliance. As I look up at the moon, its pale light reminds me so much of Fang. Be gone. I wish I could have shared moments like these with her. But I wouldn't give to just hold you in my arms again and see you one last time. How are you doing? A gentle voice pulls me out of my thoughts. I turn around to see Stella address me with a shy yet considerate presence, adorned in an oversized pink t-shirt, accompanied by black shorts and kitten slippers. I guess you have to go see the sprite itself to see the slippers. If it weren't any more obvious, I guess she's staying the night too. I'm doing a little better now, thanks. Don't be a dick, Anon. She came to check up on you. I love a lot more than everyone else in your life has ever done. You're not being rude. I understand if you're not in the best mood. I'm sorry. Stella looks away dejectedly. Wait, Stella. I'm sorry. I just haven't really spoken to anyone since high school. My people skills are a bit rusty. Not that they were any good to begin with. My eyes look and meet Stella's, albeit briefly as her eyes wander to the skies. After what happened, I stopped trying to talk to others. The lime stegosaurus sits on the step on the steps by my right side, but her eyes remain entranced in the stars, remaining silent. I almost died that day, although it doesn't feel like that's what happened, or what should have happened. More CGs. My response manages to grab Stella's attention, who shifts her gaze towards me as I continue my monologue. No one visited me in the hospital, not even my own parents. I might as well have been dead to them and everyone else. After that, I've just been drifting through life with no purpose or meaning. And maybe it's better this way. My eyes meet the ground as I breathe a deep sigh, staring at my hand holding the still-lit cigarette, staring as the paper continues to burn and turn to ash. Oh no. Bomb caller from Fallout. Oh. That truly is dark. Was that the warning I was given about? A couple of seconds pass, and I feel the light touch of a hand on my shoulder. Fate hasn't been kind to me either. Stella's expression fills with a mixture of sadness and defeat. I haven't really talked to anyone either, other than my parents and Rosa since. Stella's voice trembles as she says those words. I know what you mean. You're not alone there. It's been hard. Yeah. Damn it, why can't I be better at talking and having a moment with someone else? Has my self-imposed exile into neatdom really turned me into this much of an unsociable autist? So... how's your leg feeling now?
Does it still hurt? Inflamed, throbbing, fragile. Those are the words that come to mind to describe how I feel. My leg feels like it's practically about to fall apart at any second. I shouldn't say that, though. Not gonna lie, it still hurts pretty bad. It's not as painful as before, though. The shy Stego's expression turns into one of concern as she examines my leg in its crippled state. I still can't believe someone would just hurt you like that. No one deserves to be treated like that. That's incorrect, Stella. I deserve worse than this. Another brief yet comfortable silence passes us, putting my suspicions at ease that I'm not mumbling whatever self-deprecating bullshit echoes through my mind. So, have you seen any new anime lately? Somewhat stupid question to ask, but it's the only thing that comes to mind to try and lighten the mood. New Sprite. Oh, yeah, I've seen a couple of new good shows, actually. Let's see, there's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Promised Neverland, Beastars, oh, and Demon Slayer. I cringe a little bit on the inside, being reminded of Stella's normie taste in anime. Still, the simple question seemingly helped brighten her mood. She held the consistent eye contact as a smile formed on her lips. How about you, Anon? Any good shows you've watched lately? I haven't actually really watched any anime shows lately, shockingly enough. In the past few months, I've just been glued to my monitor, roaming the various dreg heaps on of the internet, with the occasional rock ring playthrough every now and then. The fog that enveloped my brain makes it difficult to recall my memories of seeing anything new. Except maybe... I think My less than thought-out answer stops abruptly as I feel a searing pain, a searing and tingling sensation in the fingers of my left hand. God damn it, I forgot about the cigarette. Oh, shit. I cry as I drop the cigarette and dispose of the remains with a hard stomp with my left foot. Wait. Fuck! Yeah, wrong foot, buddy. Mistakes were made. Fucking caveman instincts. Anon, are you okay? Before I can respond through my pain breathing and panting, a triad of Spanish emerges from the house. Speaking Spanish! The yelling emerges from the house, grows louder and louder as the source of the said triad approaches the sliding door. Anon, what happened? Are you alright? Rosa calls out as she moves the desk chair away from the door and emerges from the entrance barefoot, wearing a set of plain yet colorful pajamas, and runs towards the both of us to investigate my pained cries. I'm okay, I just did something I wasn't supposed to. What do you mean? Smoking? What? Rosa's inquiry is cut short when she notices the stomped remains of a cigarette where my foot just happened to be a second ago. Like a switch, Rosa's worried expression quickly turns into an expression of annoyance. Before I can explain myself, I'm interrupted by a smack upside the head from a sour ankylo. Ow, what the hell? Speaking Spanish. Besides, why are you two even out here this late? You should be going to sleep now. It's almost like that exactly what I'm trying to avoid right now. But why, Anon? You need it most of all. You're injured. The tone of her voice softens slightly as she responds to my mumbling. She doesn't need to know why. She doesn't need to know. I couldn't sleep if I wanted to. I have insomnia. The glance that Rosa gives me in response says it all. Come on, we know that's a load of bullshit. Her piercing stare causes me to give in and let out a sigh. Alright, I can't sleep. Not because I physically can't, but because I don't want to. I've had nothing but nightmares where I'm forced to relive that day. Again and again, each one becoming more gruesome and horrific than the last. And I just can't. Not anymore. Rosa kneels down next to me and raises a hand, but she places it on my shoulder rather than across my head this time. Lo siento, Anon. I can't even imagine how hard that must be for you. But you need to rest. It will only be much harder for your leg to heal if you don't get actual sleep. I really don't want to sleep, still, seeing how fucked my leg is and how I don't really have much anything to help me stay awake. I guess I don't really have much of a choice. Especially when I'm trying to reason with Rosa. Okay. Bueno, here, I'll help you out. Like before, Rosa approaches my right side, and before she can ask, Stella approaches my left, ready to help me. No, he's living the dream, guys. Okay, uno, dos, tres. Living the dream. We go back inside, and with the two, where the two help me into the desk chair they've lent me. If I can talk.
Promised Neverland was just Chicken Run, the anime. Wonder if she ever once accidentally tied her tail into a knot. The Latina Banshee has awakened, yeah? Oh, by the way, Anon, we found some pillows and blankets for you on the couch, including one for your leg. Rosa informs me as she wheels me through the house, passing through the kitchen and hallway on her way to the living room. Thanks, Rosa. I don't know what to say. Rosa simply responds with a friendly smile. I finally enter the living room and I see the couch adorned with 3 fresh pillows and an oversized yet equally fuzzy white blanket. I mean it really. You've done so much for me tonight. I really appreciate it. Both Rosa and Stella smile at me again, although Stella's more shy and subtle than Rosa's confident smile. Of course, what are friends for, after all? Rosa nods before turning around to disappear for the night. Buenas noches, Anon. Only Stella remained in the living room with me, who stood a couple of feet away from me, fidgeting and avoiding eye contact again. I'm glad we found you again. Yeah, me too. She stops her fidgeting and turns to follow in the direction Rosa left, but not before stopping by the door. She turns her head towards me slightly. I can see a slight smile on her beak. Have a good night. I hope you feel better in the morning. Thanks, Stella. You too. Her smile remained as she gave a slight head bow before departing the living room, leaving me alone in the living room of the Castillo household. The room stood before me, dimly lit by the lamp placed beside the makeshift bed on one of the tables. This couch alone looks comfier than my bed. I'm gonna hate myself in the morning for agreeing to this, aren't I? I shift myself from the desk chair onto the couch, with a flare of caution of further inflicting pain onto my leg. Success. Let me readjust myself. I slip under the blanket, placing my leg on the pillow meant to offer comfort and support. I usually sleep on my side, but I don't really feel like waking up everyone in the house with my screams tonight. Damn, this is really comfortable. If I wanted to sleep tonight, I would really enjoy this. With only one thing left to do, I reach over to the lamp on the table, turn off the lights, and watch as the room fades to black, surrounding me in comfortable darkness, inviting my body to sink into the couch, enveloping me in its warmth. After everything, I still can't believe those two still helped me and let me stay the night. A simple phrase of words that go through my mind as I drift to sleep. Do I truly deserve this? Chapter 2. Another day, another attempt at trying to go 6 hours without wanting to blow my brains out. Oh, here we go again. After after a relatively uneventful long walk, I finally approach the school, not particularly bothered by how late I am. It's a particularly foggy day out, as the clouds enshroud the sky, giving a degree of eeriness commonly seen in shitty horror movies. A thought occurred to me that stopped me in my tracks. Weird how I just noticed this now. I didn't see it when I... Wait, I don't remember leaving my apartment this morning. Weird. I make my way closer and closer to the school, but a buzz emanates from my pocket, beckoning me to grab my phone and read the notifications. A text from Fang. Control over my life you denied, and now death approaches from the sky. Why did it be me you had to vilify? Goodbye, Volcano High. What the actual fuck? Something's very wrong here. I approach the building's entrance with a feeling of uneasiness and dread. The closer I get to the door, the more I notice a disturbing lack of noise from the school. Sure, class has already started. It's usually louder than this. As my hands grip the door handles, every instinct in my body is telling me to turn back and run away as far as I can. At the same time, my mind is telling me to enter and investigate the building after receiving that cryptic text from Fang. Well, no more turning back now. I open the doors and enter the school. My eyes go shut as my nose is instantly struck with the overwhelming metallic stench of wet ozone. A smell that everyone knows instinctually, even roguelike AI. When my eyes open, I am greeted by the sight of the school hallway, a place that I've made myself familiar with over the past couple of months, thanks to navigating through it on my daily slogs. Something is wrong, though. Against my will, my eyes shut again. When I open them, all the bodies are there. Try as I might, I can't open my eyes as I feel my legs carrying me through the hallways, my body seemingly already knowing where to go. When I finally will my sight back, I'm met with a sight straight out of a horror movie. And we got new CGs. But even Trisha's dead? How is well, there's Rosa dead. Those people didn't even die. Silent Snoot. I still dream about being late for school too, Anon. I know how you feel. I know how that is too. I have dreams where I don't finish my homework assignments. And then I wake up. My God. The school's hallways are littered with corpses. A sinking, horrible feeling grasps at my heart as my mind processes the sight before me. Amidst the sea of red, the remains of countless classmates lay across the floor, the light from their eyes completely gone. Oh God, no. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. No, no! Cry emerges from the hallway ahead of me before being cut off by... The shot startled me enough to lose my balance and trip over one of the bodies, falling face first in a puddle of blood. My arms feel like they're tied to cinder blocks, heading off my breath as I try to free myself from this crimson puddle. A taste of iron fills my mouth as I use all my strength in a desperate attempt to push myself out of the river of death before me. Despite the red void's attempt to drown me, I somehow emerge back to the surface. I wipe away the blood off my face as I try to regain my breath. Soon, my vision returns to me. I look to the side, look at the corpse whose blood had nearly caused me to drown. The first thing I notice on the corpse is his floral green jacket, a
Is that Millhouse? Yeah, Millhouse, right? Or what is it? Is that him? And then we got Reed, Mazer, someone I don't know. Zero, no, no, he's got the horns. That one guy who dates that dinosaur Stacy, who's like a goon golem. Got that. It's riddled with bullets, and his wings are misshapen. Oh no. Oh god, no. Mazer! I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do. I return my attention to the source of the scream. But as soon as I do, the bodies that lie before me become alarmingly familiar to me. No, Naomi, Rosa, Spears? No, 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 no! This isn't real. This is just some horrible fucking nightmare, and I'm waking up right now. I just have to get out of here. I try to navigate through the bloodied corridor, treading carefully to avoid tripping or stepping on my former classmates, or once again falling into the deeper parts of the blood mire. As I try to exit the school, more and more of the victims become familiar. I see Reed, one of the few people here who is genuinely nice to me, lying motionless on his back with a bullet hole on the right side of his face so deep and large that I can see the floor underneath him. Next to him is the body of his bandmate Trish, crumpled against the wall with a large gunshot in her upper chest. None of this makes any sense. Why the fuck is this happening? I take a left to follow the source of the scream. As I push through the set of doors standing in the way, I reach another part of the school. First thing that strikes me about this new area of the school is how immaculate the hallway looks. It contrasts with the bloodbath I just exited. No bodies lay scattered across the floor, save for one. It's gonna be Stella. My gaze spots the puddle of blood growing larger from the green stegosaurus that lays huddled against the lockers, tears staining her face and her stomach covered in crimson. Is Stella? Ah! My ears have been flashbanged. My thoughts are cut short as both my legs crumple underneath, causing me to fall to my knees in excruciating agony. The impact of the fall on my shins only intensified the pain. I attempt to muster a scream, but the pain prevents me from opening my throat further. I can only hyperventilate as the searing white pain ravages my body. I hear a pair of footsteps become louder and louder, the sound of leather boots knocking against the hard floor. Fear and sorrow envelop me further when the figure enters my vision and turns to face me. Bang! Her wings are bloodied and scattered with bald spots. Her arms are tense as she grips a revolver in her right hand. The barrel still smoking hot. Fang stands still as she stares me down with eyes full of hatred and malice. Millions of emotions go through my mind as my eyes meet the face of my attacker. Shock, heartbreak, remorse. The sorrow I'm feeling right now is almost indescribable. Fang, please, shut up! Fang's rage visibly bubbles from her as she raises the pistol towards me. You made me do this. And now you're gonna get what's coming to you. Fang. Chapter 2. Carousel of Agony. She's fangry. She didn't get her chicken nuggies. I shoot up and almost scream at the top of my lungs. Before I can, though, I'm bringing both hands over my mouth to shut myself up before I do something I'll regret later. I start to take deep breaths as I try to stop my heart from bursting through my chest like a jack-in-the-box. Part of me expected to still be surrounded by the bodies of all my dead classmates, But instead, I find myself sitting in Rosa's living room, drenched in sweat on her couch. Oh, that's... Ugh. I take a moment to gather my bearings and pull the blankets off of me, revealing that only one of my legs is injured rather than both of them. Fucking hell. I told him this is exactly why I try not to sleep. The dreams I've been having are only getting worse. Well, I'm awake now, at least. I quickly look around the room and spot the desk chair sitting by the coffee table to my right. There's a pair of crutches leaning against the makeshift wheelchair. Seated on the chair laid a note saying for Anon. I already have crutches at home, and I didn't have to get me a new pair. I really don't deserve any of this. Although I do need those crutches to walk. I grab a hold of both crutches, position one on each arm, and lift myself off the ground. It's awkward, but I manage to support myself with the crutches and put most of my weight on my non-crippled leg. It's been about 2 months since the last time I used crutches, so I take a few seconds to get reacquainted with the motions so I don't fall on my ass. I put all of my weight onto the poles and use my right leg to move forward, shifting my weight back to my foot when using the crutches to move forward again until I gain a sense of rhythm. Oh god, crutch sprite. Using that formula, I make my way out of the living room and into the corridor of the Stella household. As I hobble towards the kitchen, I examine some of the items that decorate the hallway. Photos of Rosa and her family, artwork, along with some religious memorabilia, nothing too dissimilar to what was in her living room. But the table right of the hallway catches my eye. It stops me in my tracks, a framed picture of a rather burly-looking older male ankylosaurus. He sports auburn hair with white streaks and a rather bushy beard. He's smiling in the picture with warm eyes. Beside the frame lay 2 unlit candles and a cross hanging above the photo. The realization suddenly hits me that the photo on the table is supposed to be a memorial to someone of the Castillo's lost. As I notice the words at the bottom of the frame, an epitaph. It translates to "gone but never forgotten." Was he Rosa's father? Her grandfather, perhaps? Whoever he was, he must have been very important. He must have been a very important man to Rosa and her family. My eyes leave the memorial as I enter the kitchen. What a bright kitchen. Oh, I see the Fang silhouette right there. You can't hide from me, Fang. The first thing I catch is Stella sitting motionlessly at the kitchen table, still wearing the same anime-themed pajamas as last night, holding a warm cup with both hands as Fang aims a revolver towards her head. Wait, what? No, 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 no! Am I still dreaming? Fang's not supposed to be here. Karate kick! Oh, she's melting again. No! Eee! Speaking Spanish. Eyes open to see Stella sitting at the table, hyperventilating, her hands grasping a cup of coffee, with Fang nowhere to be seen. And now my schizo-tiered outbursts have set the Lyme Stegosaurus into a panic attack. Well, what do you have to say for yourself, Anon? I finally take notice of Rosa standing by the stove with a rubber spatula in hand, shooting me an angry glare. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you guys for a second. Dios mio, Anon. Are you sure it was just your leg that was broken and not your head, too? Setting the spatula down, she sits at the table to comfort the distraught Stego. Stella has her head covered by her arms, but her breathing slows down as Rosa rubs her shoulder while reassuring her quietly in Spanish. Unlike Stella, Rosa is fully dressed in a crimson hoodie, accompanied by a dark black pair of jeans, similar to her outfit from the day prior. Sorry for being retarded. I had a pretty nasty dream last night. What I saw in the dream made me a little jumpy this morning. Rosa continues her confused stare towards me. However, her demeanor softens, almost like a light switch went off in her head. Oh, see, I remember you said you often had bad dreams last night, no? Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, this one was pretty bad. I saw the event Please don't. It's funny how Stella has the bigger PTSD moments here, even though she hasn't been injured at all. Like, she saw things, but Anon actually, like, got shot on top of that, you know? This just feels weird. But then again, I guess Stella's just weak sauce, you know? My attention is directed towards Stella. Her breathing slows down, and her body relaxes as she looks up to me. Face and eyes puffy. Her eyes are filled with a variety of different emotions. Discomfort, fear, pain, and finally, sympathy. Please, don't talk about the dream. The day Fang turned Volcano High into a shooting range deeply scarred Stella. Whatever happened to her? It seems any mere mention or allusion to what happened that day seems to upset her. Recalling how careful Rosa is when speaking about her friend's mental health, or how she would avoid directly referencing it, instead merely calling it that day, makes me realize I should probably start doing the same thing myself. I owe it to the two of them, especially since they did so much for me yesterday, even when I didn't deserve anything. The least I could do is not be a dick. Sorry, I won't say anything. I sat at the table and then glanced at both Rosa and Stella. And I'm sorry for scaring you both. I didn't mean to. Stella replies to my apology with a gentle nod. Rosa's expression eases as a slight smile appears across her face. Este bien, Anon, it happens. How's your leg feeling this morning? And are the crutches helping? My leg? It still feels like it's about to fall apart at a moment's notice, but it's not as painful as it was yesterday, I suppose. I probably should be wearing a cast, but a doctor can only have so many medical supplies in her house. Still, it's not the leg I'm worried about. Anon? Stella's tone snaps me back to reality. It still hurts, but I feel a little better, that's for sure. I attempt to answer their concerns with a half-truth, but they don't seem to be convinced by my summary, which prompts Rosa to analyze my words while Stella returns to her drink. So, how'd you guys sleep last night? The question was meant to break the sudden silence that had befallen the kitchen, and to my surprise, Stella's the first one to answer my question as she sets her cup down and looks back at me. I couldn't sleep last night, so I just watched more episodes of this new anime I'm checking out called Vinland Saga. It's a really cool show. It's about Vikings and stuff. I find it hard to wrap my head around the idea of Stella watching any anime that isn't magical girl or Fujoshi shit, let alone one about Vikings. A lot can happen in 6 months. Cool, Stella. How far did you get into it? Hey, niños. As fun as this topic is for all of us, I'm afraid we must leave very soon. Rosa interjects after glancing at her phone. I need to leave so early. I'm going to drop you and Stella home and make it in time for school. We gotta leave now, Anon. No breakfast for you. You get to be starved, Anon. I think the part of my brain that causes me to mumble like a dumbass get broken rather than my leg. Never mind that. It completely slipped my mind that it was a Monday today and that Rosa is still going to Volcano High. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Busy day today, Rosa? See. I have a test for my morning class. a student council meeting at lunch, and I also have to work with the gardening club after school. Rosa both looks and sounds a bit tired just saying all of that. Can't be easy having that much responsibility. Not that I would know, obviously. That sounds pretty productive. How about you, Stella? What are your plans? More anime, and then maybe crying the pain to sleep. My question catches her off guard, and as she starts to cough and choke on her coffee. Rosa patting her back as she gave a slight chuckle. Oh, more anime. I don't know yet. Ah, that's so heckin' relatable. I've got no clue what I'm going to do when I get home either. How about you, Anon? What will you do? Did I mumble my thoughts again, or is Rosa secretly a mind reader? I'm going on an internet basket weaving forum. Me, well, Rosa makes it sound like she's asking for my plans for today, but you know full well that question has a broader meaning. What can I say besides what I've been doing for the past 5 months? Withering away in my apartment while I aimlessly scroll the internet and replay Rock Ring on repeat until my eyes bleed. I don't know yet. I mean, hallucinations and nightmares are not bad enough. PTSD. Yeah, he's also hallucinating. I don't know if Stella hallucinates. Needs to self-deprecate for the umpteenth time in case the audience didn't get it already. Oh, man. We're almost 2 hours in. I might call it at the 2-hour mark. We'll probably jump back on Wednesday. Glad to see I'm not alone there. Stella's response has a hint of sarcasm in it. I never heard her use sarcasm before. It's weird and uncanny to me. No importa. The day has only just begun. I'm sure you two will figure it out what you want to do eventually. But we have to leave now if we're going to make it on time. Okay, I just need to put on some clothes first. Stella sheepishly states as she exits the room. Understandable. Oversized weed shirts and cap slippers typically don't make the best public outfit. Wait, this gives me an idea. I just gotta use the bathroom first. Is that cool? Speaking Spanish. Just be as quick as you can. I should have asked where exactly the bathroom was, since I didn't have to use it last night. I see 2 of the doors on each side of the makeshift memorial. Taking a guess, I open the door on my left, only to see a closet filled with a couple of coats, boots, and a plaque obscured by the various articles of clothing. Only the name visible. Sebastian Castillo. Wasn't Sebastian also in the Rosa mod? Gathering from what little I can see of the plaque, it looks like some kind of award. So why would something seemingly prestigious be hidden away in the closet? I probably shouldn't even be looking in here. I close the door as quietly as possible, not to let Rosa know I'm violating her family's privacy. I carefully step away from the closet and approach the door on the right, successfully locating the bathroom this time. Compared to the rest of their house, the bathroom seems plain. Rather than the living room's colorful decorations and Latin memorabilia, the restroom is adorned with a mirror, soap, drawers, sink, and of course a toilet. The latter of which isn't why I went to the bathroom. I'm such a piece of shit for doing this. Locking the bathroom door, I began to check the cabinets, but he's gonna look for more meds. I began to check the cabinets below the sink for any trace of pills, painkillers, Ambien, and Adderall. Hell, I'll even take some random prescription meds as long as it gives me the kick I need not to fall asleep again. Unfortunately for me, all I find is some extra rolls of toilet paper and a bottle of Wakinodex. It's supposed to be Windex. What parody is that? Wakinodex. Oh, okay. All standard bathroom supplies. The object stares at me as if they're mocking me for failing to find my treasured resource, or how I'm raiding my friend's cabinet for a quick fix. I wonder if I'll be... Vamos, Anon, we need to go now. Never mind. Oh, sorry. Coming out now. I flush the toilet and run the sink to avoid further suspicion. When I unlock the door to the bathroom, I'm met by a particularly impatient ankylosaur holding a backpack in one hand and a pair of car keys in the other. Ready now? She asks before moving towards the door. Yeah, sorry about that. Wait, where's Stella? I ask as I shut the bathroom door and follow her through the hallway. What is this? Oh. Speaking, wait, she's in the car waiting for us, estupido. Sudden hostility from Rosa catches me off guard, stopping me in my tracks while trying to keep myself standing with the crutches. Rosa's scornful look quickly evaporates and turns into one of remorse, as if she realized the words that just came out of her mouth. Lo siento, Anon. I've just been dealing with a lot right now. With school, work, life, figuring out what I want to do once I graduate, and having to hang around two emotionally broken teenagers. I shouldn't have snapped at you like that. I'm sorry. Rosa definitely seems a lot more patient than I remember. If I recall, she threatened to kick my ass with the dreaded Chantla after falling the school's garden. You mean falling in school's garden flowers? I couldn't find after I couldn't do what she asked. But now she's been nothing but understanding, patient, and kind to me of all people. Why? Let's get going. See, thankfully I don't think I've mumbled that out loud. About 15 minutes pass as we drive back to Volcano Bluffs. Since Rosa lives on the city's outskirts, drive is a bit long but otherwise enjoyable. Never thought I'd be saying that about the scenic route. I've continued my earlier conversation with Stella about the new anime she's been watching. It's almost refreshing to see her cheer up compared to the downtrodden state I've seen her in of late. And then he meets this really big Viking guy who is friends with his father. And like he's really strong too, and there's this one part where he even uppercuts a horse. Even Rosa chimes into the conversation, which surprises me since I didn't take her as one who would partake in anime. See, but there's no way he could beat Goku. After Jesus, and I thought Stella had normie tastes. Still, it's nice to be able to have a conversation with another living being. Not just a loser behind a screen, and certainly not the dead. Is this what it feels like to have friends again? Even before coming to Volcano Bluffs, I haven't had a single friend since ever, really. After the incident, I concluded that friendship would once again be nothing but a distant memory to me. I'm still not sure what to make of what's been happening as of late. Rosa and Stella have done more than enough for me, especially Rosa. And I repaid her kindness by trying to steal medicine from her family. Some fucking friend I am. A part of me just wanted to see this as a one-time thing. They only helped me out of pity. They don't want the knowledge of leaving a former classmate to rot on the streets, hanging on their conscience. But another part of me doesn't want to let go of that and believes that their intentions were genuine. The road slowly transitioned from rural to urban as we enter the heart of Volcadero Bluffs. After a few turns of converging neighborhoods, Rosa pulls into a driveway, meaning we have arrived at Stella's house. Hey, Anon, you want to come over and watch anime? It's a clean 3-story house of modern design, accompanied by a Hadro Civic sitting in the driveway, and a well-maintained garden facing the house greets us. Makes sense Stella also has an impeccable garden. Part of me forgot that Stella is also a skilled green thumb like her best friend. Thanks again, Rosa. I appreciate you helping me out and having me over. Stella says in a rather cheerful manner as she unbuckled her seatbelt and grabbed her bag, but not before turning back to me. It was great seeing you again, Anon. I hope we can talk again sometime. Would you want to talk to me, though? Yeah, me too. It was great seeing both of you again. Would it be okay if we exchanged numbers? Wait. The retarded half of me is saying, lol, girl's trying to get my number, whereas the realist part of me is trying to find a way to refuse so I could just wither away some more. Now see, that's a great idea. Anon, let's exchange numbers too so we can stay in touch. I guess I don't have much of a choice in the matter, don't I? I suppose it's the least I could do. I comply and spell out my phone number to both of them. Not 1 second later, I get a text message from the two of them. Hola, Anon. Rosa here. Astrology reveals the will of the gods. Two text messages that perfectly describe the two girls before me. It was nice to see you again, Stella. Hope you have a good one. I wave goodbye as the Lime Stego exits the car and enters her house. Her body language slightly more cheery and positive than earlier in the morning. Okay, Anon, where do you live? Moment of truth. Oh no. About that, Wait, didn't we reveal that we lived in Skid Row? I'm too lazy to go find that one out. Oh, I guess, never mind. Skid Row, I already know that. Yeah, I figured. I mean, what is your address? I hope she's okay with this. I tell her my address, and to my surprise, she doesn't object to driving her car to one of the shittiest and most dangerous parts of town. Even the taxi driver won't dare set foot there. We'll be there soon. With nothing left to do, I lean back against the seat and look towards the window to my right, wishing to see the city pass by as the car moves. However, I see a familiar face staring back at me rather than my own reflection. The face shoots a smug smile, contrasting my disturbed face. Christ. It's bad enough you fucked everything up with Fang and me, but now you're gonna drag Stella and Rosa into your shit too? No, no, no. Go away! Nazer, why are you here? Why now? What's wrong? Too scared to face the consequences of your actions? I knew you were a pussy. I didn't think you were this sad. No, none of this is real. The Nazer I knew wouldn't talk like this, nor would he be this vindictive. Aw, am I being too mean? Maybe if you weren't such a shitty friend to everyone around you, maybe they wouldn't be so vindictive. So, be honest with me here. Are you gonna let them die too? Please, no, no, no. Are you going to watch them die like you did with me? Stop. Leave me the fuck alone! It takes me a second to realize that I practically shouted that as the car makes a sudden shift in motion and comes to a sudden stop. Speaking Spanish. Anon, what's wrong? Shit, how do I even explain this? Sorry, Rosa, I thought I saw a bee. A bee? Did you also see a bee this morning in the kitchen? Por favor, tell me what's wrong. Oh, it's nothing, Rosa, just your average hallucination. Don't worry about it. I'm just a schizo having arguments with dead people. Everything is perfectly fine here. Hallucinations? Fuck, I mumbled that. Well, I guess I have to explain now. Okay, okay. I'll tell you everything, Rosa, but let's continue on the road. Rosa agrees with a nod before shifting the car from park to drive, which kind of surprised me a bit since I thought she would refuse and stop the car to hear the whole conversation first. Okay, tell me what is happening. I uttered a defeated sigh. I still see Fang every day. Nazer and Naomi too. They visit me to remind me of all of my mistakes and how I let them die. They visit you? I mean, yes and no. Like, I know they're dead, but it still feels real, and they come to haunt me by reminding me of... I'm gonna start yawning because I'm getting tired. They come to haunt me by reminding me of how badly I fucked up and how everyone died because of my actions. That's why I freaked out in the kitchen. I dreamt last night that Fang shot up the entire school, and I mean the entire school. And when I walked into the kitchen, I saw Fang aiming a gun at Stella's head. I can hear Rosa muttering something in Spanish while behind the wheel, fairly shocked by my revelation. Ay, Dios mío. And you've been having these nightmares and hallucinations since... They started around the time I left the hospital. I visited the cemetery and watched Fang and Nazer's funeral. From a distance, of course. I didn't deserve to be there. I made them all suffer enough. And when I got home last night... Yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up soon. I'm sorry. I don't want to yawn through these. That's when I first saw Fang. She just stood there, leering at me, eyes full of contempt and hate. If it weren't for me, she'd still be alive. My confession is interrupted as the car comes to a sudden stop. Speaking Spanish, Rosa unbuckles her seatbelt and turns from her driver's seat to face me. Her face is full of sadness, concern, and anger, her eyes shimmering as if she's on the verge of tears. Anon, you're going to make me late with your sob story. I told you, none of this is your fault, Anon, but you making me late is totally your fault. Fang was a monstro. She always has been. You couldn't have stopped her. Nobody could. Rose is wrong. Fang wasn't a monster. Not to me. She was just misunderstood. A lost soul. Rosa stretches out her left hand past her seat and takes hold of my own left hand, giving it a tight squeeze. You're not alone, Anon. Fang for Meldad. But Fang made you suffer, not the other way around. Rosa tightens her grip on my hand, nearly breaking it, by accidentally causing a small amount of pain. You don't have to hide your pain, not with me, and not with Stella. Except maybe a little bit with Stella, because you scare her sometimes. We're here for you, though. You are? Of course. Speaking Spanish. I apparently mumbled that out loud as Rosa's lips creep into a smile. Before you woke up, Stella told me just how happy she was that we found you again. We were so worried about what happened to you after the shooting. We haven't seen her that happy in a long time, Anon. Really? Me? Why? I can't say too much, but Stella sees a bit of herself in you, and it makes her happy to see that there's someone she can relate to. Someone she can relate to. Wait, is she referring to Stella's anime obsession? Plus, I'm pretty sure Stella enjoys gardening, too. Wait, she can't relate to you? I thought you guys were best friends. Oh, we are for sure. She's like a Hermana to me. But you know, she has her passions and I have my own. I wanted to ask. Stella and I are planning to get lunch on Friday, and we wanted to ask you if you would like to come. You want me to come to lunch with them? I mean, money is really tight right now. Can we just finish up the scene, please? I mean, no need to rush, but like, I don't want to be yawning on it. This is not a yawn fest situation. Anyways, I can't really afford to be blowing it all on eating out. It was nice to see them again. I still don't quite know what to make of our reunion, but a part of me wants to see them again and know that I won't be alone. Yeah, I'd like to join in on that lunch, Rosa. The light washes across the ankylosaur's face as she finally lets go of my hand, leaving behind a slight shade of blue across the skin. Marvelicio. I'll be sure to fill you in on all the details soon. Rosa turns back to face the windshield and adjusts the car from park to drive as we continue our journey to Skin Row. As I contemplate her words and her invitation, a new wave of emotions washes over me, contrasting the ones that have plagued my mind for the past 5 months. Anticipation, satisfaction, perhaps even joy. I'm not alone anymore? Anon death. Trish the devil. One day earlier. Is this with is this Trish? Yeah, this is probably point of view of Trish, so this would probably be a great stopping point. I'm tired. I shouldn't be tired, but I guess I didn't get enough sleep last night. We'll put on some music. There we go. Oh. Green thumb, literally. It was a B, Rosa. It sounded like Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah. Oh, I think I'm just gonna go brush my teeth and probably pass out. I guess we'll shoot for Wednesday for part 2. And then we'll see what goes from there. If we need a part 3, but I don't think so. No, I'm tired. It's like, where did this wash over from, you know? Chat seems dead too, so I guess I'll probably just wrap it up here, huh? I guess look out for Wednesday for sure. Unless something pops up. Hopefully it doesn't. I've been trying to power through everything lately, and it's probably not helping. But Tuesday for sure will be a surprise. Keep an eye out for that. It's not Snoot related, but it is a surprise for people who are here for more than just Snoot. So, just saying. Daylight savings time. Yeah, clocks fell back last Sunday. I thought, funny enough, I thought it happened earlier, like in September, because I'm retarded. So maybe I'm still feeling that shit. Maybe. I mean, I don't wake up at any certain time. It's just my body sucks with sleeping, seeing as I have to strictly sleep on my left side, because if I sleep on my right side, that incurs the wrath of my tailbone, and it's just an hour of misery as it just decompresses. Hang on, I'm depressed. Ghost. Just die. Well, I'm glad I don't see ghosts with my shit, with my pain. Oh. Oh, God. Yeah, I need to go to bed. So I'm gonna hop off. Well, I do need to lock in my Fortnite daily too, so I'm gonna do that, go brush my teeth, and then probably pass out.
I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Last time I had ghosts, I just filled a glove with holy water and threw hands. I get it. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow or Wednesday, depending. So take it easy.